Hello, I'm Dr. David Spiegel. I'm a medical oncologist and am the Chief Scientific Officer at Sarah Cannon Research Institute in Nashville, Tennessee. We thought it'd be a great idea to introduce you to the Drug Development Unit and give a tour of what care would be like, perhaps on the first day, or for those who've already been through treatment, what it would be like in our new facility. So first, as you enter, we want you to check in here and have a chance to wait in a comfortable environment. Hopefully somewhat like you would have at home or in a place that's relaxing and not necessarily like a doctor's office or a clinic or even a hospital setting. Next, we like to take vital signs and make sure that everyone is healthy and safe as they start their care. That also includes having labs drawn. We have a room here that is meant to be also relaxing and hopefully inviting to allow you to get those vital signs checked, make sure that you're safe and feeling comfortable about starting your day's care. We also will draw labs here, routine labs for your treatment on a study. So after you've had your vital signs checked and your labs drawn and we feel it's safe for you to begin your day's care, we'll have you come into an examination room like this. This is a chance to meet your care team, your physician, your nurse practitioner, your nurse, go through a discussion of how you're feeling and make sure all your questions get answered about what the day entails, and of course have an examination. And then we'll move on to the treatment room. So after you've met with your care team, you'll begin your treatment in the treatment room. This is a large area, but we've designed it to be private. And so let's see an example of what that feels like in one of the private bays over here. So here's a private bay. Although we're in a large treatment room with a lot of other patients, there's nurses and other providers and other staff caring for a lot of different people, this setting is meant to feel very private. So you can be here getting your treatment along with friends or family in a private setting. There's a TV, you can sleep, you can read. It's meant to be very relaxing so that your care feels almost like as if you were at home rather than a hospital or in a clinic. Let's move on and see the rest of the clinic. So this is a different room than the one we showed earlier where you're either having an examination or having labs drawn or having your treatment delivered. This is what's called a PK room. It stands for something called pharmacokinetics. It's basically a fancy way of saying we want to monitor the level of the drug inside of your bloodstream. So when we're on a trial and we're testing either a pill or a new IV therapy, it has to be administered either by swallowing or by having an IV placed. And then we want to wait for that medicine to get through the bloodstream and measure it at different levels. Sometimes that's right after you take it, sometimes it's a few hours later, and sometimes, not often, it's many hours later. And so we wanted to have rooms so that patients and their family and friends can be comfortable for those durations of time that we have to wait for those levels to rise enough so we can then measure those accurately. That's very important not only in your individual care, but in the overall management of the study so that we know how you're doing, how other patients are doing on this study. So it's a critical piece, but it does require extended stays. And so we wanted to have rooms like this, these PK rooms, so we can have you remain comfortable and check those levels over several hours. So this is a very different area of the clinic. This is a patient lounge area. This is different from what I've shown before where you have vital signs checked or labs drawn, meet with your physician, or even receive treatment. It's a little bit like the room we just left, the PK room, where we're waiting for, say, levels to rise after a therapy is administered so we can draw blood. This is an ideal area for folks to sit and wait out some of that time, especially individuals who are on pill therapies where they don't necessarily need to be hooked up to an IV. Patients and families can wait here. We do have the ability to have IVs and have folks wait out here as well, but the whole idea is to be a comfortable area, really like home, not a clinic, not a hospital, so that as you spend a good part of your day sometimes, it's at least in a relaxing environment. So that's the unit. We appreciate you spending time to learn more about what a typical day would be like in the drug development unit at Sarah Cannon. If you ever have questions, you can easily get those answers from your doctor or anybody on the Sarah Cannon research team. Again, thank you for spending that time and look forward to helping you.